Hi and hello to our young readers and language enthusiasts out there. So welcome to our last lesson for our quarter 1 for English 5. So we are now at week 8 and we're going to discuss nonverbal cues, visual elements using layouts and audio elements in multimedia. So are you ready for our last lesson? And be ready also for your upcoming first periodical exam. So without further ado, so let's have it and let's have a quick review of what we have done for the past lesson. Okay, so this is Teacher Isa and I will be guiding you for today for your last lesson in English 5. So for your learning objectives, so we have three. First, you need to identify audio elements in multimedia content, including sounds, music, recorded narration, dialogue, and effects. Number 2, analyze how audio elements contribute to the overall message of the multimedia. And number 3, explain how audio elements contribute to the author's purpose in multimedia. So for day 1, let's observe the picture, then identify the following. Okay, what can you say about the line, the shape, color, value, form, texture, and space? So we have here, okay, the a painting, okay, from Van Gogh. Okay. So first, the painting is dominated by expressive, okay, expressive swirling and dynamic lines, especially in the sky. So curved lines show movement in the stars and wind, while vertical lines appear in the cypress tree and the church. Okay, shape. Okay, for the shapes are mostly organic, especially in the natural elements like clouds and trees. Geometric shapes appear in the houses and buildings in the village. So as for the color, the painting uses cool colors like blues and purples for the sky and hills, and warm colors like yellow and orange for the stars and moon. So the contrast between warm and cool colors create a vibrant effect. Okay, so for the value, there's a strong contrast of light and dark. The bright stars and moon stand out against the dark night. Okay, light values, we have yellows and whites contrast with dark blues and blacks, emphasizing the night scene. Okay, for the form, while the painting is 2D, Van Gogh creates the illusion to form with shading and overlapping. So the cypress tree appears to have volume due to its layered strokes. So for the texture, the painting gives a sense of rough texture due to the visible brush strokes. So the swirling paint application mimics the tactile quality of the actual brushwork. So for the space, there is a clear foreground for the cypress tree, middle ground for the village, and background for the mountains and sky. So overlapping elements and size differences help create a sense of depth. So that is our observation, okay, for the painting of Van Gogh. Okay, so now let's have the descriptions of the visual elements. So we already, kumbaga nabanggit na natin kanina, yung mga different visual elements like the lines, okay, the color, the forms, the texture, the shape. Okay, now let's give a description for these visual elements. So for the lines, it can be straight, curved, wavy, zigzag, or diagonal. So they define boundaries or imply movement and direction in a composition. For color, it refers to the visual sensation produced by the spectrum of light when it interacts with the human eye. For the shape, we have circles, squares, triangles, or organic forms. For the texture, is observed through touch or implied vertically. So examples of, okay. So values refer to the lightness of darkness of a color or tone. Form refers to the three-dimensional aspect of object like the shading and highlighting. So now let's identify and discuss the changes you notice, focusing on how layout affects the overall design. Okay, so for this picture, okay, and the following pictures, so tingnan natin paano ba nakakaapekto yung layout sa pangkalahatang appearance o disenyo ng isang larawan. So tingnan natin dito sa unang larawan, for the first picture, okay, meron tayong same na sofa pero magkaiba yung kanyang layout. The first one is red, okay, and the second one is parang cool yung color niya. We have the blue and purple. Yung una naman is warm. We have red and orange. So, among the two, ano ba sa tingin nyo yung mas okay na layout? Paano ba ito nakakaapekto sa disenyo? So, for those who want na medyo kalmado lang, hindi ba? Parang gusto mo relaxing lang, mas prefer natin, or ako personally, mas prefer ko yung second one with the blues and purple. So, parang kalmado lang, di ba? Relaxing lang yung dating. But dito sa isa, okay, medyo warm, okay, mapula, medyo orange yung kanyang kulay. So, parang, halimbawa, kung ikaw ay medyo pagod, pag-uwi ng bahay, then ganito pa yung kulay. Parang, kung ako, personally, medyo mas tiring siya pagdating. Parang, imbes na parang pagdating mo yung makakapahinga yung mata mo, parang mas nakakapagod pa siya. Pero, ito ay depende no, sa pagtingin ng bawat tao. So, yung sinasabi ko is just my personal opinion. And then, paano ba nakaka-apekto? Yun nga, pwedeng maka-apekto yung layout. For example, dito sa bahay, pwede itong maka-apekto sa mood mo, no? Pwede rin itong maka-apekto sa, saan pa? Sa emotion mo. Pwedeng kapag uwi mo ng bahay, tas ganito yung layout ng bahay mo, yung kulay, medyo natatanggal or nababawasan yung pagod mo. Or kapag halimbawa medyo dark, more on the brighter side, yung layout or yung color, no? In terms of color, parang medyo, I don't know, pero kung pag sa akin, kapag hindi halimbawa pag pagod ka sa trabaho, and then medyo, for example, hindi maganda na yung pakiramdam mo, tapos ganito pa yung color, parang hindi ka nare-relax, no? And then, at the same time, minsan, di ba, yung mga layout ng, or halimbawa, kung hindi man yung sa bahay, no, yung pictures na lang, di ba? Makikita natin kung halimbawa pag masyadong maraming gamit or kapag lesser yung gamit, hindi ba? Parang kapag mas malinis, mas kaunti yung gamit or in terms of the picture is yung layout, parang mas clearer, no? Mas madali mong ma-analyze yung larawan. Unlike kapag masyadong marami tayong nakikita, mas nakakagulo siya ng isip. Okay, so now let's have this one. We have the Facebook and the Yahoo. I think this one is parang papunta siya sa Yahoo Mail, okay, or Yahoo Messenger. Actually, si Yahoo, matagal na siyang nawala, no? Kumbaga, dahil nabuhay or because of Facebook, talagang medyo nawala at napag-iwanan si Yahoo. So, at then, 'di ba, pag kung napapansin natin si Facebook, lagi siyang from time to time nag-update siya, no, ng kanyang mga pagbabago. And for some, okay yung changes ni Facebook, pero pag sa iba parang feel nilang parang mas okay yung dati. Pero of course, pansinin natin yung dalawa, yung in terms of the layout, si Yahoo medyo marami siyang mga nilalagay. May mga advertisement pa siya, hindi ba? Pero as we all know, yung advertisement is dyan, yung mga platforms natin kagaya nito. E nagiging venue siya para kumita, no? Katulad halimbawa si Facebook ngayon. Before, wala naman tayong yung kumbaga, yung mga reels, wala pa tayong mga ads, no? Yung mga ads natin is for the pages lang. Pero ngayon, everybody becomes a content creator na, hindi ba? And they earn from it. So, kumbaga, dati, Facebook is just a platform for us to communicate with our loved ones and to have friends, wider range, no? Yung wider yung magiging parang mas malawak yung maaabot mo in terms of halimbawa yung kumbaga mas napapalapit tayo sa mga taong malayo sa atin, nabibigyan tayo ng way to communicate ng mas madali, nag-start lang sa message, 'di ba? Palitan lang ng message and then nagkaroon tayo ng mga video calls. Kumbaga yung improvement niya continues until such time na today. Dati more on expressing lang our emotions, na pictures and all. Ngayon more on content na, marami ng gumagawa ng mga iba't ibang content, no? Pwedeng nakakapagpasaya, no? Pwedeng informative yung kanilang content. Yung iba naman is simply to make us laugh. Yung iba naman talagang forms of entertainment. And naging avenue na rin siya para sa mga tao na mag-earn, hindi ba? And aminin natin, malaking tulong siya today, especially doon sa mga nahihirapang kumuha ng work, di ba? Kumbaga, lahat in terms of Facebook, in terms of Reels na meron sila ngayon, lahat nagkakaroon ng opportunity to earn, hindi ba? So, ikaw na lang ang bahalang gumawa ng paraan, mag-isip ano ba iko-content mo and yung pagiging masipag mo, diba? Yung kung gaano mo sisipagan sa paggawa ng Reels. While si Yahoo, nag-end na ng maaga yung kanyang parang ano pa lang si Yahoo, early 2000, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, medyo nag-goodbye na talaga siya. Although na-open pa rin yung mail niya up to now. Pero kumbaga, bihirang-bihira na. Yung, kumbaga, sabi nga nila, yung mga titos and titas na lang natin yung may mga Yahoo account. No? Actually, I do have one. Yun pa rin yung connected sa aking Facebook. Pero, yun lang yun, hindi ko na talaga siya ino-open, and yung limitations kasi ni Yahoo before, hanggang Messenger lang din, and ang hirap pa, hindi pa siya ganun kadaling i-navigate. So siguro talagang in terms of update, no, kumbaga medyo napag-iwanan na talaga. So talaga ngayon, almost everyone in the world meron ng Facebook account. So yun, so dito natin makikita na yung pag-update, yung in terms of layout, no, mas nagiging kumbaga dito natin makikita based on these two pictures, less is beautiful. Parang kumbaga 'di ba ang trend natin ngayon mga minimalist na. Lalo na nung time nung pandemic, naging nauso 'di ba yung ang dami nating nakita, especially sa yung mga nag-aayos ng mga bahay, parang minimalist na yung kanilang peg and trend ngayon. So, yung combination lang nila ng white, okay, and wood, di ba? Yung mga team puti, kung naririnig nyo yon, talagang yung mga, parang yung bahay nila is parang naging napaka-linis, napaka-aliwalas kasi lahat ng kanilang gamit, yung kanilang mga furniture, yung kanilang cabinets, ang linis tingnan kasi ang daming naging team puti dati, no? Parang combination lang siya ng white and the touch of wood. Pero yung iba na mas gusto yung colorful, so nag-stick sila sa ganon. Pero nowadays, marami na yung parang lumilipat, no? More on the minimalist side. Kasi parang pag mas kaunti yung nakikita mo, parang mas okay. Kumbaga in terms ng sa ating eyesight, nagiging mas klaro, 'di ba? Hindi masakit sa mata, mas relaxing, mas okay. So, in terms of this one, with Facebook and the Yahoo, in terms of layout, makikita natin na mas minimalist tong si Facebook. And nagtathrive talaga siya ngayon. Unlike si Yahoo, medyo nawala na talaga siya sa eksena. So, we have here, okay, two pictures. Can you identify ano ba yung difference nila? Okay. But for me, medyo nag-tone down lang pagdating sa second picture. Walang masyadong difference. Siguro medyo yung contrast lang ng lightning and then yung kanyang color medyo nag-subside dito sa kaunti. So, yun nga, nakaka-affect din yung brightness niya sa atin. Katulad halimbawa in terms ng sa mga pinapanood natin sa TV. Okay? Para sa mga bata, hindi masyadong advisable yung mga loud colors, masyadong striking. So sabi ng mga psychologists, kumbaga nakaka-apekto daw ito sa behavior ng mga bata. So kung papanoorin sila ng mga series, ng mga cartoons, mas okay daw yung mga hindi masyadong bright yung kulay, no, in terms of halimbawa ng mga cartoons. So, as we suggest dito kung ano makikita natin sa difference ng picture, so mapapansin na lang natin na medyo nag-tone down yung kanyang color. So now let's unlock our vocabulary. So you need to match column A and column B, identify the word or phrase being described, and then write the letter of the correct answer to the blank provided. Okay, what do we mean by body language? Cultural appropriateness, nonverbal cues, layout, and visual elements. So we have here the answer key. We have E, C, D, B, and A. So have you ever noticed how sometimes we can understand how someone feels or what they mean without them saying a single word? Nararamdaman natin, okay, at napapansin natin kung ano yung nararamdaman ng isang tao kahit hindi sila nagsasalita. Paano? How do we notice? Ano ba yung mga tinitingnan natin? So that is what we are going to discuss. So because we have the non-verbal cues, without saying a word, we can understand what someone feels, perhaps ano ba yung nasa utak nila, o kaya kung medyo nagkakaroon tayo ng idea, ano ba yung iniisip nito, ano ba yung nararamdaman niya in that current situation, based on the voice, articulation, eye contact, facial expression, gestures, body language, and appearance. Sabi nila, diba, kapag magkaibigan kayo, magkatinginan lang kayo, alam niyo na kung ano yung nasa utak niyo parehas. Parang nagtugma. Kasi nagkatinginan kayo. For example, nag-uusap. Tapos parang may napansin kayo doon sa usapan, no, within a group. And then nagkatinginan kayo. Parang somewhat parehas kayo nang iniisip. You understand already what the two of you are thinking. Diba? Parehas. Or, minsan, yung voice, no, yung paraan niya ng pagsasalita. What else? Yung articulation, mataas ba ang boses, mababa ba ang boses, napapansin natin yon. So these are the non-verbal cues. Facial expression, hindi ba? Hindi man siya magsalita, pero nakikita natin sa expression ng mukha kung ano yung kanyang nararamdaman. Satisfied ba siya or hindi? Galit ba siya or masaya siya? Okay? Or nabobored ba siya or happy siya doon sa kanyang nakikita. And sa gestures, okay, kasama din yan. Body language, minsan hindi natin namamalayan, pero our body language can tell someone ano ba yung ating nararamdaman at ano ba yung ating iniisip. And at the same time, yung ating appearance. Nonverbal cues refer to specific signals or behaviors that convey information without the use of words. These cues can include facial expressions, body language, gestures, tone of voice, eye contact, and other nonverbal signs or signals. So we have types of nonverbal cues. First is the facial expression. Facial expressions are set up of different micromotor or small muscle movements in the face that are used to infer a person's discrete emotional state. So for example, happiness, anger, no? Hindi mo napapansin pero nakataas na pala yung kilay mo habang may kausap ka. So that gives a nonverbal, okay, cues or clue doon sa kausap mo na parang hindi mo gusto yung kanyang sinasabi. Okay? So pwedeng naka-frown ka, pwedeng naka-smile habang nakikipag-usap or kinakausap ka, pwede naman parang litong-lito ka sa sinasabi niya, pwede namang iniisip mo, tama kaya yung sinasabi nito, or is he or she telling lie to me, or nagsasabi pa talaga siya ng totoo. So these are the facial expression na might affect, okay, doon sa ating kausap. So hindi natin napapansin, nagbibigay na pala tayo ng iba't ibang facial expression. So, based doon sa pwedeng hindi lang sa kausap, pwedeng sa napapanood, naririnig, or what is happening around you. Body language. Body language refers to the nonverbal cues and signals expressed through physical movements, gestures, postures, and facial expression. It often communicates subconscious thoughts, feelings, attitudes, or intentions, supplementing or contradicting verbal communication. Okay, so ito body language, halimbawa kapag nakahalupkip-kip ka daw, alam niyo ba yung nakahalupkip-kip, yung naka-cross yung dalawa niyong arms kapag nakikipag-usap, sabi nila parang hindi ka open-minded kapag ganon. Parang hindi ka willing tanggapin, no? I mean, ito lang yung some of the interpretations, no? I don't know, okay, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, pero sabi nila, yun nga, kapag nakahalukip-kip ka, kapag may kausap ka, it means na you are not that open na tanggapin yung sinasabi niya. Pero kapag nakababa lang yung kamay mo or yung kamay mo nakalagay sa likod habang nakikipag-usap, it means you are very open sa kausap mo, open kang tanggapin yung mga suggestions niya, na willing kang makinig. Okay, so those are some of the interpretations lang naman in terms of body language. What else? Kapag may kausap ka, tapos parang tingin ka ng tingin sa relo mo, parang you are very time conscious and you're telling someone na kausap mo na okay, time na. Stop na yung yung talk mo, no? Parang it gives a sign or a clue na you are what? You are very conscious of the time, and at the same time parang gusto mo nang mag-end yung inyong conversation. Okay, and there are a lot more body language that tells something, no? Subconsciously hindi mo na mamalayan, pero kumbaga it gives signals or clues sa ating mga kausap. Next we have here examples of body language. Gestures. So this includes movement of the hands, the face, or other parts of the body. Gestures differ from physical nonverbal communication that does not communicate specific messages. Such purely expressive displays or displays of joint attention. So for example, sa hand gestures, meron kayong mga signal na binibigay. Hindi ba? So for example, yung okay sign, hindi ba? Yung okay na hand gesture, thumbs up. Okay? Big sabihin you're okay. Pag thumbs down, hindi okay. Or thumbs up, you agree. Thumbs down, you don't agree. Kapag yung thumb in the middle, you're not so sure. Okay? Yung peace sign, yung I love you sign. Okay? So those are examples of hand gestures. So you can have an activity, charades, or nonverbal cues. So act out words or phrases without speaking. Okay? Then members will try to guess what they're acting out and take turns in drawing a picture from examples you kept out. Okay, so this is a very good activity in terms of non-verbal cues. Okay, so paano ka makakapag-send ng message through or just by using hand gestures or body movements. Now, have you ever flipped through a magazine or storybooks and been captivated by its vibrant images, catchy headlines, and organized layout? Diba? Kapag nakakakita tayo ng magazine na parang, wow, ang ganda ng mga pictures, buhay na buhay. And then, match mo pa sa napakagandang headline, striking, kumbaga parang nahuhook ka kaagad, headline pa lang. And then, napakalinis, napakaganda ng layout. Parang napaka-perfect basahin ng magazine or storybooks. Parang napaka-engaging niya. Parang ayaw mo nang bitawan at gusto mong tapusin sa isang upuan lang. So visual elements are the building blocks of design, including things like images, text, colors, shapes, and lines. Layout refers to how these elements are arranged on a page to create a visually appealing and organized composition. So napakalaking bagay ng layout. Layout man yan ng bahay, layout man yan ng magazine, layout man yan ng dyaryo, layout man yan ng inyong classroom, maski layout ng school. Napakalaking bagay niya in terms of visual. Diba kapag nakita natin na malinis, maayos, hindi makalat,
maaliwalas, parang na-entice tayo. Diba? Kapag maganda ang school, minsan malaking factor yung facade ng school, yung itsura ng school para to promote itself. Minsan hindi mo na kailangang kumbaga i-promote okay, sa pamamagitan ng mga ganito ganyan. Sa paanong paraan lang. For example, you just take a picture of the school and then kapag nakita ng parents, ng students, parang ang ganda-ganda ng eskwelahan na to. Parang napaka organized ng kanilang school. So, diba, visually appealing and it creates a more positive vibes sa mga nakakakita. Diba, gandang-ganda tayo. Especially yung mga layout na, of course, may mga layouts na trend na, kumbaga, how do you say that? Kumbaga, nagtatrend. From time to time, nagbabago yung gusto, nagbabago yung trend ng layout or ng design. But the thing is, ang trend ngayon, okay, for me, if I am not mistaken, is parang mas malinis, mas simple, mas okay. Pero may mga times na parang mas bongga, mas maraming design, mas maganda. So, in that situation, nakadepende na yan sa personal taste ng isang tao. But hindi natin mayaalis yung impact ng layout, okay, sa ating mga mata. No? It creates a visually appealing and organized composition. So we have here some layout principles. We have the balance. Okay, this is the distribution of the visual weight of objects, colors, texture, and space. So ito yung pagbabalanse mo ng kulay, no? Yung dami ng larawan, dami ng object sa isang picture, yung texture niya and space. Alignment refers to the lining up text or graphics on a page. Contrast occurs when two or more visual elements in a composition are different. And proximity, the rules of proximity are pretty simple. Things that are related should be nearer to each other, and things that are unrelated should be placed further from each other. So we can see here, okay, different pictures. So 3 pictures, okay. Yung una, we can see a girl, and then yung kanyang damit. Then for the second one, we have the symbols. Okay, symbols for Islam, Christianity. Okay, so yin yang. Okay, we have here the symbols. And yung third one, it is like kumbaga a natural picture, no? Kumbaga painted picture na kung saan working or nagtatanim yung mga tao. And then yung kanilang background is the Mayon volcano. Okay. So we have cultural appropriateness of visual elements. Okay. For the culture, so it refers to the shared beliefs, customs, traditions, values, norms, behaviors, and artifacts that characterize the particular group of people. It encompasses various aspects of human society, including language, religion, cuisine, art, music, literature, and social institutions. Cultural appropriateness refers to the respectful and ethical engagement with aspects of another culture. It involves understanding and acknowledging the significance and context of cultural practices, symbols, artifacts, or traditions from communities outside of one's own. Cultural appropriateness entails avoiding the misuse, distortion, trivialization of these elements, as well as seeking permission or guidance when incorporating them into one's own work or expression. It emphasizes the importance of recognizing power dynamics, historical context, and potential impact of one's action on marginalized or oppressed cultural groups. Essentially, it's about treating other cultures with sensitivity, dignity, and respect. Okay, so you have your activity. Design your own magazine page. So it can be a group activity. So design magazine pages, experiment with different visual elements such as images, headlines, text, and colors. Consider your layout principles such as balance, alignment, contrast, and proximity, and share your designs with your class. So we have here your criteria
okay, or rubrics on how you are going to be graded. So it includes the visual elements, creativity, layout, design, content relevance, and cultural appropriateness, and your presentation. So we have here, okay, our last topic, okay, for this week. Last week, we have the audio elements in multimedia. So kanina, may mga visual elements. Okay, so the balance, the color, the texture, the shapes, okay, and how do we move, or kumbaga paano natin i-appreciate, okay, yung cultural appropriateness, how do we respect yung culture of others when we are trying to use that as our, kumbaga i-express natin siya into drawings or into paintings. So we should respect, okay, others' culture, especially kapag iba siya sa ating kultura. So we need to show respect, kailangan nating ipagpaalam, and wag natin basta-basta gagamitin without understanding yung kanilang context, no? Yung konteksto nila, kung paano nila ginagamit yung kanilang mga signs and symbols, as well as their culture. Kailangan na intindihan muna natin, at kailangan irespeto natin yung lahat ng aspeto ng kultura ng ibang tao before we use them as our, kumbaga, pinaka-subject or object sa ating gagawing art, or kumbaga gagawing in terms of designing or layouting. So for this time, we're going to discuss the audio elements in multimedia. So how audio elements contribute to the author's purpose, and paano ba nakakatulong ito na lalo pang mapaganda yung isang multimedia output, or yung isang production, or yung isang video, or yung isang a certain output. Paano ba nakaka-apekto yung audio or yung sounds natin? So imagine you are telling a story to your friends. You use your words to describe what happened, but you also use your voice to make the story exciting or scary. You might change your voice to sound happy, sad, or even mysterious, depending on what you want your friends to feel, especially kapag nagso-storytelling. Mas nagiging engaging para sa mga bata, mas natutuwa sila, mas nagiging eager sila to listen, especially kapag nagbabago-bago tayo ng tone ng ating voice. From normal voice to a happy voice, to a sad, to mysterious, loudness or softness of the voice. So ito yung mga sounds na nakikreate natin just by using our voice, and definitely by means of the changing of our voice tone, okay, o yung sound, yung emotion, naglalagay tayo ng emotion sa ating boses, can definitely make a story a good one. Kumbaga na ilalabas natin yung expression ng author doon sa kanyang story na ginawa. In a book or a multimedia project, authors have a similar goal. They want to tell a story or share information, but they also want to make it interesting and engaging for the readers or audience. So this is where audio elements come in. So some reasons why audio is crucial in multimedia. We have number 1, emotional impact. Audio elements can evoke emotions and set the mood of the project. Information delivery, more effective delivery of information than text. Enhanced engagement, audio catches audience attention. Accessibility for audience with visual impairments, and immersion and realistic experience. So, for the audio. So, kapag may sounds, okay, may sound effects tayo, nakakatulong siya para magkaroon tayo ng parang more realistic experience. It's like nandoon tayo sa mismong kwento. So we have audio elements in multimedia, background music playing in the background. So 'di ba? Kapag nanonood tayo ng mga movies or stage plays, may mga background music. So parang to add, parang hindi ganun ka monotonous yung dialogue. 'Di ba? Kailangan may mga background music. So kapag medyo horror, 'di ba? Kung parang mas gawin nilang more na mas nakakatakot, nag-a-add sila ng background music na medyo syempre nakakatakot. Kapag medyo drama naman, medyo malungkot naman yung kanilang background music. Then sound effects, sounds that represent specific action like footsteps, door creaks, explosions, rains, or birds. voiceovers, recorded narrations, and dialogue, recorded conversations or scripted interactions. Ambient noise, background sounds that mimic environmental noises like ground chatter or wind blowing. Musical stings, sound effects used to punctuate key moments. Hindi ba? Kumbaga may mga parang may nag-inject tayo ng iba't ibang musical stings para mas maging lively yung some moments or para ma-highlight yung ibang moments. Silence and pauses, intentional absence of sounds to emphasize movement, build tension, or create contrast. Okay, so how do elements contribute to the author's purpose? Okay, you can watch and attentively to the short video Meet Kevin. So it's a scene from Up. You can search that via YouTube. Okay, record your observations on how the audio elements contribute to the overall message of the multimedia project. And then after watching the multimedia project, share your observations to the class. Okay, so ito yung pwede nyong ilagay. You have the audio elements and then ano po ba yung inyong observation. So for example, background music, comedic music, or scary music. Okay, so sound effects. Naglalagay ba sila ng sound effects? Minsan, may napanood ako nun, yung halimbawa pala daw, kapag yung mga international na mga dramas, pag dinadala siya sa atin or sa platform sa ibang bansa. So for example, yung mga dramas from Korea, tas ipapasok nila sa platform like Netflix, nagkakaroon pala ng changes doon sa sounds. That's why pinapakita, no? May napanood akong variety show showing na ina-adjust nila. Kumbaga, mas dinadagdagan nila yung sound effects nung mga hindi naman dinadagdagan. Parang hina-highlight nila, inuulit nila. So habang piniplay yung series or drama, nilalagyan nila ng sound effects. Kumaga, parang mas hina-highlight pa nila. May mga different silang gamit na nandoon lang sa loob ng studio na ginagamit nila para halimbawa enhance kapag umuulan, enhance nila yung tunog yung sound ng ulan, yung footsteps, sinasabay nila doon sa mismong drama. So parang ini-enhance pa nila yung sound effects kasi daw naapektuhan yun kapag nilalagay sa panibagong platform. Okay, so that is one part of the scene. You can watch that via YouTube. Okay, so for your takeaways, we have here, okay, choose from the word bank, okay, the word or phrase being described. Okay, so you have here your answers. Okay, and for your reflection, how did audio elements contribute to the overall message of the multimedia or the video clip you watched? And that's it for today. Okay, so it's a wrap up. Congratulations for finishing your first quarter in English 5. So I'm very happy that you shared it with me and you chose me to be part of your learning experience in English 5. So I hope you learned something and you learned a lot from our lessons from week 1 to week 8. So thank you and I hope to be with you and please be with me again for the second quarters. I'm Teacher Isa. Thank you and bye-bye.